Welcome to the Flathead River. This is up north of Glacier National Park, and it is one of the clearest, cleanest, most beautiful, wonderful wild rivers in all the country. The problem with that is that it's also one of the coldest, and I am about to jump in. Come with me. Okay. So, burr, but also worth it. That was awesome. Okay, now time to talk a little bit. This video, special video for me. Special video because I spent almost all my summer over on the East Coast. I actually thought I was going to spend the whole summer over there on the East Coast because I have a ticket to fly to Iceland, film another YouTube video for you in September out of Boston, Massachusetts. So I didn't really have a reason to come back to the West. However, I made up an excuse, a great reason to come back. That is a business event, a business sort of social event that I've got down in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. So instead of flying back, I drove all the way back across the country just so I could spend some time in the West, go to Wyoming, go to Montana. So much cool stuff to do in this video, and I'm also going to be driving down to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, do a little river rafting trip, all that sort of stuff. Probably film part 2 of this video when I get down there, but this is awesome. Montana's my home, and it feels so good to be back. Man, I just feel so good in my own skin right now as well. Like, I feel shredded. I feel like I'm in such good shape right now. I feel so good, and this is what makes this video special for me. I think it's just gonna be a bit of a comfort video, be back and be peaceful. So I hope you can get into the vibes maybe a little bit with me and enjoy this, because this is prime time for Montana, and I'm so happy to be back, baby. Let's start the drive down to Jackson. Here we go. It was a long drive, but I'm finally back. Montana, Bozeman, Montana. And look at how wonderful it is out here in the forest. Oh, it just feels so good. Bozeman, Montana is one of those places that feels so good for me to come back to, because this is the last place I lived before I moved out onto the road full time. As of filming this video right now, it's been over 2 years on the road, and I'm so happy I did it. But every once in a while, there's that craving to come back home, run the same trails that I always used to run, and have some familiarity. However, this is always just a small stop on the way to where I'm going, and we still got a lot of road left. One thing you'll tend to notice about Montana is that the closer you get to Yellowstone National Park, the more the land seems to open up. And this is the case with Red Lodge, so we couldn't just look at it. We had to get out there.
Undoubtedly, the most popular question I get asked from living a life on the road is, where's my favorite place? Have you been to all 50 states, Jake? Which one's your favorite? Where's the best? Where should I go? I get asked this question all the time, and it's always hard to answer, but if I had to choose just one place that's my personal favorite, it's right here in Montana. It's got all the beauty, the nature, the fun, the wild, and when you're ready, some adventure, get you out there and challenge you.
Hi, we just got to Yellowstone National Park. This is the entrance. This is the east entrance into Yellowstone National Park. I've actually never been here before, even though I've been through this park many times. Hitchhiked through this place back in 2018, which was pretty spectacular. So today we're driving back through. I've spent a couple days in Montana, got some good footage for you there. Now we're gonna hopefully dive into some real Yellowstone experiences here. Hot springs, geysers, maybe a couple bison, and if we're really lucky, we'll get to see a wolf or a grizzly bear, and I'm pretty damn lucky, so we'll see how it goes. It's gonna be epic though, so let's get in. I'm officially here in Yellowstone National Park, right off the road. The road's right there. I'm headed up to this hill. This is the special thing about this park though. I'm literally walking, and right here at the base of this tree, there's this bull or this buck deer that just springs up and sprints off into the forest and scared the daylights out of me, just like 100 feet off the road. So this is the thing that you got to remember when you come into Yellowstone National Park. It's that every time you step off the road, you are sharing an environment that is wild with some apex predators and big animals like grizzly bears, wolves, bison, even that deer scared me, that are giving you the gift of allowing you to be here. So as long as you respect the environment, respect the animals, you won't have any problems. But make no mistake, if you disrespect the environment and the animals, you're gonna have a rough time. So we're gonna go up and I'm gonna show you the view right up here. I've got to show you how much different my attitude is here in Yellowstone compared to other parts of the world that are a little less wild. There's even this little bluff with these trees over this hill right now. The road's right there too. And I am being very cautious because I know in tree stands just like this is where a lot of animals will hang out during the heat of the day. So there's a realistic possibility in Yellowstone that there could be some bison right over this hill listening to me talk right now. A grizzly bear over this hill listening to me talk right now. Likely, no, but it's very possible in a place like Yellowstone. So you got to be very cautious and move slow and have your senses alert and engaged all the time, or else you might end up paying the price. So we're gonna go over the bluff. I'm not seeing any animals right now, probably a few deer from that one I just saw earlier that were hanging out up here, but I think we're safe. And here you go. Here is your view of Yellowstone National Park. Yellowstone Lake right out here, and then the wild just spreading forever. This is northern Yellowstone right now as well, so it's the part of the park that the least amount of people are going to since all the road delays and got shut down. All the places where I can't even talk right now. I'm just so excited to be here. It's wild, man. It's wild. My gosh. Okay. I don't know exactly what the next plan is yet, but that is definitely where we're heading because it is 91 degrees outside and I absolutely need to jump in the water. Here we go. So one of the coolest things about Yellowstone is it's one of the easiest national parks to see wildlife consistently because of spots like this. This is a little wetland place right here, and way out there is an animal that looks like it could be a bear. It's a big solo four-legged animal. Could totally be a bear. It's so far out there though that there's no chance I'm walking out to try to find it, and I can't quite tell what it is. There's no way the GoPro is going to pick it up either, unfortunately. So I mean, I hate saying that because then they're like, oh, he's just making it up. But the truth is, I just don't want to walk out there and be like, hey, what are you? And then just get smacked in the face by an 800-pound grizzly bear. So this is one of the parts about Yellowstone that's so cool. You get places like this where you can stop on the side of the highway and consistently see wildlife. Consistently. It is incredible. And whatever that thing is right now, I just saw it turn broadside, so I can kind of see that's gotta be a bear, man. Oh, this is so awesome. Anyways, I could wait a little bit. I don't know what to do. But there's so much more to see that I can't stop. No trip to Yellowstone would be complete without some geyser action, some geothermal features. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Whoa. Okay, so let's talk about this real quick. Yellowstone is famous for that. We're really lucky we just got to see that, like right on time as well. And it goes again. That's so cool. That's Cliff Geyser. Okay, this is the Black Sand Basin. Yellowstone is on top of the world's biggest, I think, the world's biggest super volcano, which means when this thing erupts, like the entire northwestern United States is just gone. But right now, it makes for a thin Earth's crust, allows some of the magma from underneath in the Earth's core to heat the water on the surface and have it bubble up to the top. This is what makes Yellowstone so famous, aside from the wildlife, the bison, all that sort of stuff, is the geothermal action. Some of this stuff is boiling hot and will absolutely kill you, so you got to be careful, but some of it is perfect temperature. And I've heard stories that there's a lot of places around Yellowstone that have hidden, beautiful, wonderful hot springs that you can soak in, but the park rangers won't tell you about them because they don't want the millions of people that come here every year to be visiting. So you're reserved to try to find them on your own. Oh my gosh, dude, do you see how amazing this is right here? How amazing is this? Oh. Wow. So this is one of the places that you can't bathe at, but this is the kind of secret hot spring that exists all over Yellowstone, supposedly. I haven't put in the work to find them, but you have the hot water coming up right there, and then you have the cold river right here. So where this flows into the river is this kind of lukewarm, shifting hot spot that you can find and soak in. You're not allowed to soak here, like I said, but very cool, and that's the sort of stuff that you got to find. There is a place called the Firehole River further up north that is usually super packed from what I hear, but I've never been, and it's supposed to be one of the places you can actually get in the water. We'll see if I can show you that soon. Okay, so we're moving quietly here because there's a bison in front of me in the river, which is pretty spectacular. Now, you can just barely see it right now. I'm going to try to get a little bit closer where you actually can see it, but this is something I want to make very, very clear. This is a wild animal. We are not going to harass it, and we are not going to risk our lives for a photo shoot, okay? We're going to be very kind and respectful to this animal because, one, it's just nice to not piss an animal off. Two, because I don't want to die. All right, so these are wild animals and you got to respect them. We're gonna get a little bit closer. Here we come. Oh my goodness, it is coming straight for me. Okay, I'm just gonna walk slowly back to my car. There's a bison in the middle of the road and people are getting way too close to it. This is why people are morons, and this is why people deserve to get hit by a bison every once in a while. There's a guy walking right behind that thing. Okay, so we're gonna go real slow, just keep backing up. Okay, yeah, it looks like it's gonna come right over to get a good shot. My car is right here behind me. So we're just gonna back up to the car. No one's gonna get killed by a bison today. Here we go. Oh my God, man. You're gonna see how big they are right now. See how big these animals are. That thing could take out my car, no problem. It's just like any other Tuesday for this guy. He's like, oh, car pisses me off, we're done, out. And the fact that it doesn't, and it lets all these cars just stop by and look at it, like we are in the middle of a paparazzi show, and this thing is chilling as much as can chillin' be. Like, that is so cool. That is so cool. So I'm out here walking along the Firehole River beside me. This is the first time I've ever really got out to walk and explore this place by myself, because, man, I mean, this exact spot is actually the only place that I ever definitively saw a grizzly bear in Yellowstone. I might have saw one just earlier today, but it was so far away that you can't even really tell. Right now, though, or that time that I saw a grizzly bear at this spot, was shocking. Nothing will change your perspective on the world more than being in the wild with an absolute apex predator that you know could kill you if it wanted to. And just by the mercy of its heart, you get to walk away from the encounter. It happened to me for the first time when I was in Key West, Florida, and I swam next to a reef shark in the water, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, this thing could take me out at any second, and it just doesn't. When I saw that grizzly bear out here as well, it was the same feeling. A grizzly bear is like a monster, man. The most beautiful, wonderful, spectacular monster of nature. Maybe the only thing that rivals it is maybe like a tiger, but like grizzly bears are unreal. So just getting this far off the trail gives me a little bit of spookiness when I come out here, because seeing a grizzly bear in the wild is scary for sure. And I don't have bear spray on me or anything right now. Yeah, so maybe not the smartest thing, but I just feel like getting out here and exploring this is worth it. Looking for some hot springs or a little hot pool reservoir that comes into this, very worth it. Plus, man, I mean, just it's just so nice. Hey, there we go. I finally found the warm water. The people led me to it. Let's go see how warm it actually is. So the river's maybe a couple degrees warmer than the normal water, which means there's got to be another spot that's actually warm, or else they wouldn't call it the fire hole. Let's see. Oh, okay, so this is slightly warmer on the other side, but I see steam coming up further down the river. I know there are hot springs in Yellowstone, not just warm springs, but actual hot springs. Maybe this is one, I don't know. This looks promising here. This looks promising. I am getting eaten by like a bajillion biting flies, but this might actually be a hot spring. Look, it's hot enough to steam, so that's definitely good news. So this is where Yellowstone's dangerous. First off, there's a fence around this, you can see, right? For a reason. None of this is really hot right here, but if I come over here and that is so hot. That's like you would get burns. Like I have to go to the hospital level burns from going to that hot spring right there. But the river's so cold that it doesn't matter. So that's still not a win. God, I really wanted to find my first real hot spring in Yellowstone on this trip, and I'm just not seeing it. Boiling River? Yes. I understand now, but like all of this supposed to be the warm stuff. And it's not, I mean, it's summer, right? So you could definitely get in it, but it's not a hot spring. Dang, bro. Okay. I guess we're heading back to the car, but maybe I gotta look harder. I don't know. Catch up with you in a sec. I found a map. I still haven't found hot springs, but if you look close, this is where we are right now. This is the road I came down. This is where the first sort of little warm spring exists, right here, and there's one right about right here. This is the Firehole River, so I think the only other thing I can think of and where the hot spring would be, it'd be way up by this campground. However, I don't have time to do that right now. It's 7:30 at night, and to be honest, my ankle does not feel great after pushing it kind of hard the last couple days. So as sad as it is, I think I got to give up on this one. Now, look, listen, here's the thing. I really wanted to bring you a hot spring for this video. I got to head down to Jackson. I got work to do tomorrow, but now I know where to come back to. If you know where these hot springs are in Yellowstone, comment on the video post below and let me know, man. 'Cause I got to find these things. I think that's got to be them somewhere in that zone. For now, though, we just gotta let it go, and we will be back another day. Take care. I'm gonna head down to Jackson area and Tetons. I'll maybe show you a pretty sunset before we close out. I've got the perfect way to finish this video with a double rainbow forming above me in the rainstorm. Now we're stuck in traffic. There's a lot of construction in Yellowstone. You can see the mile of cars, so who knows if I'll ever make it out of here before I become a skeleton. I think I will, though, so I think we're gonna be okay, and you'll get this video at some point. If you're watching this, you know I made it out, but that is amazing. So this video was just really about relaxing, laying back, enjoying some of my hometown a little bit, and it's been really cool. My home state. Now I'm down here in Wyoming. It's raining. It's just beautiful. Now this next video is a perfect transition into the next video. I'm heading down the Tetons area, the Tetons National Park, and I'm going to be river rafting, hopefully, with a team that I work with a lot online. First time a lot of us are seeing each other in person. I think it's going to be awesome. Hiking, laughs, fun, a lot of filming, good times with good people, which is what this channel is all about, and the adventure aspect. So go to beautiful places to do it, and that makes so much better. So we're gonna finish out right now. Stay wild, be free, enjoy the rain. I'll see you in the next video.